I'm Christobel.
And I'm Niamh.
And today we're going to be discussing decadence, agency and ambiguity in Jean-Honoré Fragonard's best-known painting, The Swing. Here to give us some insider knowledge is Curatorial assistant Carmen Holdsworth-Delgado. Could you give us some information about how The Swing came into being?
A poet's account has it that the history painter Doyen was approached by an unnamed person or gentleman of the court who wanted to commission him to paint a picture of his mistress on a swing with him in the bushes hiding and being pushed by a bishop. And he specifically said, the lady on the swing should be showing her ankles and more besides if you want to enliven the picture further. Doyen was a little bit scandalised by this and he suggested that Fragonard instead take over the commission. So this painting was made in 1767.
And how does Fragonard undercut the etiquette of French 18th century society?
Well, French 18th century society is at this time well known for being quite libertine, but they still had very strict rules and regulations. And one of those was that men were allowed mistresses. Women possibly could have a fancy man if they wanted. However, they first had to provide a male heir to their husband and be very discreet about how they went around. So in that sense, he's not undercutting, but just putting overtly out there in one picture what everyone knew to be happening at the time.
And to what extent do you think the lady is situated as the object of desire versus the instigator of romantic intrigue?
That's a really good question. I think Fragonard leaves that completely open to us. It's very ambiguous and it's a love triangle, as we can see. Even the composition lends itself to that notion. So we have the lady sat on the swing precariously in between two people. We know that women at the time would not have had much power in terms of money and wealth and lands. That always passed from their father to their husbands, if they ever got any. But they did have influence and they had to use their wiles and natural beauty in order to gain the position in courts. So she might hold the beauty for the moment, but perhaps the fact that she's precariously on this swing means that it might not last.
How does Fragonard utilise the Rococo artistic styles of the age?
So firstly, Fragonard has created quite a small picture. One thing about the Rococo is that the rooms in the Rococo houses have become smaller and cosier and more multifunctional. These are very much conversational pieces to allow people to come up close to. The other thing is that it's a lovely lady in her beautiful Rococo dress. It's well known for being excessive use of textiles at this point. And people at this time would have had a visual recognition of other society portraits, maybe even of Madame de Pompadour herself, in a very similar dress, except that those society portraits would normally be a lady static, standing, not in full movement and certainly not showing more than her shoe in those portraits. So that's another way. And the other thing is it's quite normal for ladies of this period to be shown with their favourite pet. And there's a very famous picture that we have here of Madame de Pompadour with her little dog Inès, and Inès is looking up to Madame de Pompadour faithfully. However, this dog here, he's yapping, he's jumping up, he's very excited by the movement and the scene. So it's another sort of symbol that all is not well, all is not faithful in this relationship.
Thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing The Swing in person, come down to the Wallace collection and check out more podcasts online.